What's up, everyone? It's Mythic Talks back for another episode. This is number 6. We're gonna go over some HCS related content this week once again, and talk about the last 3 open events that Space Station had up here on the Face It, and also the qualifier. And we got a couple FFAs, 3 FFAs hosted by LVT and Native Gaming. And on board tonight with me, we got Mr. Epic Beast, we got Only User Frag, and we got Quick Fuse and myself, C4. What's up, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing
well.
I'm
good.
Took a minute.
Doing really well.
I didn't want to speak over anyone.
Well, there you go. They're all doing great. Yeah. So I've taken the liberty to take some notes based on what we've seen here the past few weekends, and just to kind of give everybody a highlight. We're gonna start off with the first open. There's 3 opens, and then a qualifier, and then there's 3 FFAs. We'll get to the FFAs probably. Actually, maybe we start with the FFA, honestly, maybe, because that's probably going to be the quickest thing we can talk about. So LVT and Native Gaming got together to host, they had a FFA for each region. We had the Mexico region, we had, Australia, New Zealand, we had the Europe, and the NA FFA. All, it was like $1,000 across the board, spread out between all 4 regions. And I'm only going to go over NA results because this is where all the top dogs are playing. So number 1, in the first week of the FFA, I think I played. Did you play Beast in the first one? I can't remember.
I did play.
How did you do? I can't remember how you did.
I got to the second round and then got like 7th.
Okay, second round. Hey, not bad though. Out of, I think it was like 128 people signed up, so you made second round. You beat out half the competition there. Yeah, I think I got second round too. I might have got 5th or 6th. I can't remember exactly. Somewhere around there, maybe 7th. It wasn't my best performance, but yeah. But the final results, we'll go over that since me and him didn't do that hot. We didn't get very far. The final results, in 8th place we had Anthrax with 36 kills. We had Etzo with 37. We had Lego with 38. Kruvu sitting at the 40 range, with Kid Nasty falling up in 4th with 43. Legend played this week, the first week. He had 45 kills, and Gilkey with 46 in 2nd, and our boy Goober, Deputy Goober, getting 57. Completely dominating the lobby in that first week. We got to watch it live on LVT. What were you guys' thoughts on that first one? How did Goober look, and how did you think the pros played against him?
It's amazing to me how good Goober is at just FFA in general. Not only is his shot and his movement on point, but there's nobody better when it comes to the timings of Aquarius FFA. Nobody.
Don, that man's got it on lock, man. I've played a number. We've all played some FFA in the regulators. I've played for the last year with these guys, and like you said, there's nobody, literally nobody on this fucking planet that has better timings than this guy. I mean, we did see I didn't get to watch the finals of the first year at Worlds. Bop took the first place. I think Goob got 2nd, followed by the second year Last Shot getting 1st. But Last Shot's a machine. Goober, he always attributes to those anything short of first. He always contributes that to him playing bad. He's always playing excellent in our opinion. His shot's impeccable. His timing. He almost went on a 3-peat in the final. In the second week, we had another performance by Goob, but I'm going to start with the 8th place. We had Slug in the second week taking 8th with 34 kills. Maddie in 7th with 35. Filoni is with 44 and 6, followed by Kruvu with 45 for 5th. Hative in 4th, he's also a very good player. He had 46. Gunny got 3rd that week with 50. Lego 52 in 2nd, and Goober once again just dominating with 58. No pros that week in the finals, but once again getting the 2-peat. And then the 3rd week, this was a little bit different result. We didn't have any pros like we did the first week. We did have, I think King Nick did show out. Which was this past Friday. He did show out, so I believe he was the only pro technically.
Gunny.
Gunny. You can consider him. He's a pro level. He's pro level. He's not
made. Has he made pools? I swear he's made pools.
I don't know. He
I don't
might
know
have.
if
If
he's
he
made
did,
it.
it was only one time. If he did.
Yeah, I feel like if you've made pools, that's when you could say you're pro.
Yeah,
But-
that's my opinion. And you could ask anybody else, especially probably like HCS Pro Talk. They'll probably beg to differ. They're probably going to go with top 8. Like in my opinion, back in the day, like H3, H2 days, like top 16, you were considered pro. Like that's how I always looked at it.
I just
Anything
think the
outside of-
window of pro between semi-pro and pro is became smaller. It's not as big as it used to be.
It's not as big as it. But like what I consider pro, like I don't really consider you making a living off of it to be pro. I think like being at that level of like I can take down a game. I can take a game off of Optic, or I can take a game.
Yeah.
You know, that's when I'm like, okay, you're pro level. You know, I'm just gonna call you pro at this point. Like we could technically say APG's not a pro if that's the case. He's not a pro anymore. If you want to go by them books, a lot of people
I'm
argue
just
that.
gonna say that anyone that's made pool play is pro in my book.
Exactly.
Like even if you're not consecutively making pool play, but like
Super
if you
CC,
made it,
Super CC was
Yeah,
in that.
I
So
would
like,
say he's a pro.
yeah, he was in this lobby.
And people like Common, and I would say they are technically pro.
So I got to
you
take
know?
that back. I got to take that back. He was in there. He was like, I guess, the only pro level player besides Gunny. But anyways, the 8th place we had Zeus. I don't know this guy. First of all, let's talk about. I think who all played in the second week. I think you played Quick.
Yeah,
Ben, you played.
I got
second week?
I got first
Yep.
rounded in the
So did I.
second week.
I think I played both the first and the second.
Yeah, I
week.
made
Yeah.
second round once again. Second week.
I had Goober in my lobby, and I got to see what that was like for the first time.
Yeah, and you also got Kruvu back to back, didn't you? Like weeks 1 and or
Yeah.
2 and 3 or
I
something.
had
like
Kruvu in all of them, I think.
that? Yeah.
He's also beat me at Worlds, so yeah.
Yeah, before
I have a vendetta. Every
gotta-
free for all
gotta
I've
get
been
it back.
in at Kruvu.
he's
But
a beast.
luckily, I know I'm skipping a little bit, but in the third free for all, I actually placed top 3 in my lobby with Kruvu still there, so improving.
Improving. I mean, before we get to the final results for week 3, I made it the furthest I've ever made it. I got to semifinals. I got to play against King Nick. I was shitting on him a little bit. Keyword. He ended up winning by 10
you were
kills.
leading.
I was leading
You were
for a
leading
little
your
bit.
lobby.
Yeah.
I
You're
gotta
leading
say
for
that-
over half the game.
Yeah.
That entire day, C4 was on fire. He played this FFA, and then we jumped into ranked, and we got up to D6, and then we played 8, and he beat me in those. So C4 was fucking on one that day.
Yeah.
Must have bought a Zen pouch.
No.
Trying
I
Trying to bring
You
out
know,
his interstellar.
it's funny because Thursday night we played our rec league match. I stayed up till probably like, I don't know, 11:30, 11:40. Went to
We won
bed.
3-0, right?
Yeah, we went 3-0 on Thursday night.
Oh,
We did
yeah, I
really
forgot
good. We
about that.
played very well. I think there was a couple clutch games or clutch oddball
A
round.
lot
or
of
two.
comeback games.
But yeah, like I stayed up late and then like I just took a nap, man. Like I got home from work and there was like 2 hours till time to start, and I was just like, you know what? I need a little rest. So I took like a fucking hour nap. I got that got interrupted several times because I had somebody come and look at my plumbing. So like I basically maybe got 30-40 minutes of like little rest. And, like I got up, man. I was like feeling good, drank some G Fuel, and then just roasting the rest of the night. Unfortunately, that didn't really carry over too much into Saturday or today. I was kind of tired after staying up like super fucking late. But that's my my problem. But yeah, good week for you. You got second round again, didn't you, Beast?
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. I was honestly, I tweeted, I was like, I'm gonna break the third round curse, which was technically for these online opens was a second round curse, but third round online on LAN events or whatever, and finally broke that. Got the quarterfinals, couldn't believe that, and then I was just like leading that lobby for a little bit, and I'm like, am I really gonna make this? And then I did, and then of course I got in the semifinals. I did not play as well as I could have. Fortunately, got 7th. Did not get last, thankfully. But the final results of that FFA were Zeus, who I had beaten one of the previous lobbies. This guy was pretty good. I did good against him in one of the lobbies, but he made it all the way to the finals. He had 33 kills in 8th. Kid Nasty with 36 in 7th. Super CC in 6th with 42. We had Anthrax, who also got to play against. He had 44 in 5th. Command Station doing really well, getting 47 for 4th.
She
Goob,
led most of the game.
yeah,
too.
she played excellent. Goober on the other hand was not short a few kills. It was a two-way tie between Gunny and Lego for first and second at 53, and I think Gunny edged him out by deaths, or it had to be deaths.
Yeah, but he edged
it
him
was
out by
deaths.
deaths.
And
Very
Goob
substantially.
missed that tiebreaker between those two by 2 kills. He had 51 for third place. You know, he just said he didn't play as well. I thought he played great, but you know, there was some timings I could see like he was kind of making maybe some timing issues, maybe trying to get in the battle a little too soon. Could have maybe timed it just a hair bit later, you know, and then maybe picked up a couple extra kills. Did you guys watch that game, and what are your thoughts?
I watched
The
a little
finals?
bit of it.
Yeah, I got the last
will-
little bit of it.
I will say
What?
the biggest thing about the finals there was a pivotal moment when Goober and Gunny got into a 1v1.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure right at the end of the game there, if Goob would have won that 1v1,
I
he
remember that.
probably would. He probably would have went to win. And then right after that, Gunny was weak, and then Lego came around the corner, and Lego didn't get the trade.
Oh, I remember
Right.
that. Yes.
Right at the end of the game, if Lego got the trade, he would have won
Yeah.
by 1 kill. But because Gunny got the kill, and then it went to a tiebreaker, Lego lost it by, I think it was like a 12 or 13 deaths or something. So it was pretty. You can tell Lego was getting active for sure.
Yeah, and I got to hear the opinions of Lego afterwards. You know, he was a little upset. He was upset with his placing in that. You know, they getting shorted by deaths only. You know, you're literally about to be first place, your first win. But that was definitely his best placing against Goober in a tournament. Also, just want to shout out to Goob for sending me a message. He said he was proud of me for making semis. Appreciate it, man. You know, that goes a long way. So hopefully I can carry that over to SLC. And you guys played well. Almost got the three-peat. Technically a three-peat if you consider Atlanta in this mix. You know, you got 3 FFA's wins in a row. That's pretty damn impressive. You know, that's 4 finals.
Yeah, I would say Atlanta is like a bigger accomplishment than these online things.
Yeah, most definitely. You got about like, I don't know, 200 at least people, if not 300 people on land, so that you got to deal with.
Yeah.
I don't think we saw over 128 at all. They opened it up that second week to like, I think double, like 256, but I think we only ended up with like 120 something
10 or
people.
something.
Yeah, something like that. 117 or I can't remember
Some
exactly.
people didn't confirm their spots, so
It's on them, man. I don't know why you'd sign up for stuff and not, hey, sign up, man.
I'm
Show up.
glad that they're giving out some seeding points for these.
Yes.
I think I'm excited that I maybe won't just get first rounded at Worlds or something.
I think I secured about 200 and at least 250 points for Fridays.
I think I would have 100 points.
So I should be sitting at, you got 100 points because you got top 64
twice. Yeah.
I know I got 50 from the first week, 50 from second week, so that's 100, and then I should be sitting at about 350, if not 370. I can't remember.
Because you'll get Atlanta. Well, you didn't get anything in Atlanta.
No, I didn't get nothing. Yeah, first round.
You might get some SLC points, and then
as long as I get second round there, I can get points.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
But the points do help. Trust me, because you'll get in these first rounds and you'll get some easy. I got a dub last year. I had a decent amount of points. I got my first dub on land at Worlds, so that was awesome. But we're gonna go ahead and lean into the SLC Opens, the road to SLC.
Topic of our show.
Now I got some notes. I'm gonna just kind of like spout off the notes I've wrote down, and then we can discuss the whole thing. Open number 1, which would technically be series number 10 for all of the HCS Opens. My first note, Naded's team got freaking just absolutely destroyed. And then ultimately, there's a lot of drama that we've all seen, and they disband. And no longer, I don't believe any of them at this point, except for Gunplexion. I don't think any of them are competing anymore.
What team's Gunny?
That was such
a.
Now, Gunny, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing now, but I know he's still, he's still obviously a competitor. But I've got the results. We can go a little bit more in depth on this, and I've got some more notes. We can talk about this point first, but they ended up playing another AM team, Nated in them, and they get 3-0'd in the first series, get sent to losers. Now their first team that they played was Vusi, Syrian, Grand Shiesty, and Dakota NY. And those guys are very, very, very solid players, all of them. You know, those are like 2,000 ranked Onyx players, if not higher than that. And I think they played Oddball on Streets first. I believe that was a 2-0 series. It says 200 to 110, so I'm guessing they didn't win a round off that. They get beat 50 to 38 on Solitude, Slayer. Then they get this is where they get stomped. Absolutely fucking just pub stomped and Recharge Strongholds 250 to 32. Nated got 5 kills in that game. And, you know, like, you're thinking Nated, like, he hadn't played in a while. It's been a minute. Eli X is not really much of a competitor. He plays a lot of social. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I think he's in the diamond ranks, so.
Yeah, we played with him that week, the day prior to that. And, you know, I was telling the boys, I was like, you know, this guy's pretty good. I've played against him before. He's got some solid mechanics, which obviously we've seen that. He does have solid mechanics. But that didn't really help him in the decision-making department because, he didn't perform to his best, and we all saw the result of that. So they did go to losers. They dominated in losers. They were playing a very low-seeded team. They completely dominated them on Strongholds Interference 250 to 0, 50 to 19 on Livefire Slayer, 200 to 6. So 2 rounds to no rounds in Oddball Recharge. Then this is where they get into the second round of losers. They lose Solitude 50 to 45. That was that was Slayer. The first match was Recharge King. They lost 3-1, or they won 3-1. My bad. They lost Livefire Game 3. Strongholds 250 to 29, and then they won Game 4 to send it to Game 5. It was crazy that they even have a Game 5 in this. Streets Oddball looks like it was a 2-1 series, and then they lost 50 to 30. Recharge Slayer, and that team that they were playing in the losers was Flourishly, Divine Damsel, Camp, and Daylight. And the thing that was notable about this, and I'll let y'all speak a second, is that Complexion's like, man, look, I've beat all these teams before. I've beat all these players. He's like, man, this is fucked. You know, like, I watched a fucking like a 3-hour-long stream him talking about this situation with Nated. And what are your guys' thoughts on this whole ordeal around that?
Big waste of time.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. Big waste of time.
That's drama.
Nate's playing Roblox now. It's already like 3 weeks irrelevant, and yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is late. I mean, we're giving our thoughts extra late.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that team had so much like hype, like, ooh, returning player that was good, but I don't know. I felt like they could have just found a better fourth than Eli X. No offense, like, he's a great player, but not like competitively in my.
He's not on Gunplexion's level or like Straight Six level, and I don't even think Nated was either, to be honest. But
he doesn't play ranked enough to like translate that skill into the ranked environment.
No, for sure. Again, I think that's why we saw him grinding ranked a few days before, right? Because he's he's a BTB guy, right? Like he's a social player.
Yeah, or
he's great at social.
And, stuff like that. And he definitely has. I feel like if he actually tried and consecutively practiced and went for it, and was competing in these opens, then yeah, maybe. But he doesn't do that. He's a streamer first, a competitive Halo player like fourth.
Yeah, and
remember he's also a coach of Metafy.
You know, the whole drama, we'll just wrap it up. There's not really too much to say. It's already been said. Like you said, we're like a couple weeks late on this. But, you know, I guess Nated fired the coach, who was Callus, very great coach. You know, I've played with Callus before. I'm not sure how he is as a coach, but he always had hectic comms. I would think he wouldn't be that way as a coach. I guess Native just didn't like the direction it was going in. I'm not, entirely sure what the issue was, other than he just didn't like the way Callis thought about the game. Native had his own approach, and then we saw the drama with that on Twitter the night before, that night after the Open, and then Gunplexion had like a 2-hour-long stream about it. Native had like a 24-hour stream about it. And then APG had to jump in the mix and give his 2 thoughts, which I ultimately thought was probably not the right move. If I was APG, I would have stayed out of that fucking mess. But yeah, moving on out of that. There's nothing really to talk about there anymore. We had SSG 1, only dropping 3 entire maps in the first Open. And then you had C9 started to look better, taking 2 games off of Sentinels. So they lost 3-2.
Their old roster.
Yeah, it was with their old roster. And then they beat Native 3-2, and they beat Team Lethal Fox 3-0. And just looking at that, I'm not sure was in Lethal Fox that week.
I think it's the same squad.
It was Common, Yaxon, Haynes, and Rami. I think same squad as. It wasn't the same squad at Atlanta because that had King J, and that had Piggy at one point, but. Yeah, Cloud9 was looking better.
Piggy on Tenrai with Envor and
he's on F1 now. It's called F1 now, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
F1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Envor, Carmi, and Etso with them.
The only other thing I wanted to point out from Open number 1 was the team, the Fellowship, which is now Passion United. And I think the reason why they got signed by Passion United in this was they took a game off Sentinels, which is pretty huge.
Yeah.
The Fellowship there.
And
then they lost in a game 5 to SWAT Latam, but that is very
Yeah, so Tenrai is F1. That was the same team. They're just different name.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Passion United, they've been looking pretty decent. They beat, looking at the bracket, they beat Into the Lab, which was Florisli's team. I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm not sure how good but
that's no longer Passion United.
Yeah, that's the same. Okay.
That team's broken up. That was the team with Maddie, Kratos.
Yeah, you're right.
Now I'm saying Fellowship is
Fellowship.
Passion United is now, and they did pretty good as well.
Yeah, but Space Station was looking great that tournament, man.
All of these.
They got all the way to the grand. They got all the way to the grand finals with only dropping 3 maps. Swept the whole thing. I don't really have anything other than like that. That FaZe didn't seem to play. Like I don't know how close the games were in that match. But they got 3-0'd by Space Station.
Pure did pretty good. They lost to FaZe in a game 5.
That should tell you something, though, right? Like Pure taking them to game 5, man.
And after beating them on
Yeah.
land, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Pure beat Sentinels 3-1, and then took them to game 5.
Passion United lost 4-0.
And then Space Station beat FaZe 3-1 in grand finals. No
I think
reset.
it's a glitch on Faceit. It says that Passion United lost 4-0 to TLF. That should be.
Wait, in the losers bracket?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see that. It does say that. Holy shit. That's got to be a glitch.
Shout out to Faceit.
Faceit's great, man. The best. I wish I had I was just telling the guys earlier, I wish I had the ability to get a bird's eye view of this bracket rather than having to scroll up and down, and then Beast mentioned being able to hover over the match, the bracket match, and seeing the rosters. That would be freaking awesome. And then maybe actually seeing the match scores too per fucking game. That would be sweet.
What game it was?
Yeah, what game, how many rounds, what was the actual score of the Slayer or the Stronghold or whatever. That'd be great. Of course, I can go to Halo Data Hive. That's got all this good shit and get that. But moving on to Open number 2, which was I think a week better, a better week for a lot of these teams. This is Series 11. The first Open was on August 10th, 11th. This one was on 17th through the 18th, and Native Gaming stepped it up, taking down Optic 3-2. C9 started playing better. They went again, once again 3-2 against Sin. They ultimately lost, but they did still play pretty good. And they also took 3 games off of Optic, sending them to the losers bracket, 3-0, and then Native and C9 both take a game off of Space Station, and then Space Station ultimately get knocked down to the losers bracket, and then they reset the whole thing, winning the tournament once again. So
that was still old C9 as well.
yeah, was it?
Tusk, right?
Let me see
Yeah.
here.
With Tusk.
With Tusk, okay. They didn't drop him until the week after that, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if I click on
they
it,
just picked Tusk has only played in the
yeah.
only not played in the qualifier.
So in the upper bracket, Space Station get all the way to round 4, right? They get to round 4 in the winner side. They get beat 3-2 by Team Liquid, who was
placeholder.
which this week they changed. They were Team Liquid that week. This week in the qualifier they were Team 1, and it's Collect, King Nick, Manny, and Mortally. And Manny wasn't he? Yeah, he was on this team, and then what happened was he went to C9 and Tusk went to Team Liquid, which is also called 1 now. But Space Station got knocked to the losers bracket, which was kind of crazy.
I want to say that Team Liquid name really tripped me out because I was like, wait, did Liquid come back to Halo? And then I saw Collect was on the team.
No, he's just a troll.
I was just like, oh, that's a meme. Never mind.
So SSG, Sentinels, and Optic got knocked to lower.
Yeah. Like, let's see here. Optic. Where's Optic at? I hate this bracket.
They lost to Native, and then they didn't show up day 2.
Was it day 2 or I think it was the next tournament? I think it was the next one. Right?
No, it was day 2. It's this tournament.
Because they get to.
It's gonna say they lost to Cloud9, but they just didn't show up.
Oh no! This is different. No, this is a different one because Native Gaming. Remember, I told you Native Gaming beat them. They put them in the losers bracket, and then Optic go to the lower bracket that week, and then get 3-0'd by Cloud.
Yeah, they didn't show up.
Yeah, they didn't show up. That's when Penguin slept in, or Dead Zone. Sorry.
Yeah, Dead Zone
sure?
did not make.
Yeah, he slept for 16
You're
hours.
right. You are right. Yeah. So they
It's
did.
the only one Optic played in.
Yeah. It was so okay. It was day 2 then. Yeah, you're right. Okay, because I remember watching the game where Native beat them. Yeah, and then they got a forfeit. It looks like I think Eclipse Solar gave them the win because they knew they were going to get beat anyways. So they basically let Optic take that to kind of buy them a little bit more time. I believe that was the case, right? I remember somebody saying that. Wasn't it you, Beast? Yeah, because they
played that game.
You sure? Because
yeah, they played Eclipse Solar because it started. It was supposed to be Optic Cloud9 in the morning.
Okay. My bad. Okay,
yeah,
so
it was gonna be their first match.
I thought I heard somebody say that though. My bad. Okay. So yeah, so Cloud9 didn't actually 3-0 Optic. So scratch that. Yeah, scratch that. That's bad on my part. But they still played pretty good. I mean, like, you know, they 3-0 Team Liquid. They move on. They take a game off of Space Station. You know, I don't know. It's probably a Slayer though.
It's good for them.
Yeah. Any thoughts though? Y'all got? On any of the matches?
Sentinels just looking pretty good. Still losing to SSG, but
yeah,
I just
remember,
they look like they're playing more cohesive than they have the last 2 events.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that can translate to online, and maybe we could have someone contend for top 4 or so along with Shopify.
Yeah.
Shopify was a little quiet this whole road, so we'll see.
Indeed, they were. Yeah. So Space Station. Let's see here. Yeah, get Space Station 3-0 Sentinels that week. I'm gonna look at I got the bracket, or the games pulled up from Halo Data Hive. It looks like.
Did Shopify compete at all on the road to SLC?
No, they didn't.
That's interesting.
No, wait. No, hold on. Let me see. Let me make sure of that because I swear I thought I saw them play it. Hold on, maybe I didn't. Let me go back.
I haven't seen Shopify play.
I haven't either.
No, I haven't even heard anything about Shopify.
So they're being pretty quiet, not doing anything they don't need to because they have secured their spot with their land placing. But it's interesting. You see teams like Space Station, Optic, Phase at least playing in one or two of them. And then Shopify, nowhere to be seen. And I wonder if that can give Pure and Sentinels a leg up by getting more.
Maybe they
practice.
just didn't want to they wanted to focus on other things. I don't know.
I'm sure they've been scrimming, and
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they have.
maybe they're
Yeah, I don't
just meditating on how to win on a Sunday.
Yeah, I don't see them. I don't see them in any of.
I don't think they played.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like browsing because I remember making some notes on them, and I believe it was probably for the last podcast we did, if I'm not mistaken. We did one. I think before Atlanta, I mentioned. Didn't Complexity? Yeah, they did play. Wait. They did play. Yeah, okay, they did play. Like, look, go down to match 25 on the August 21st, 22nd Open Series number 12, and then go down to match 25. They did play. It's towards the bottom of the bracket. Let's see. So they got a bye in the first round. They beat CE Esports 3-0. Second round. Third round they beat SWAT Latam 3-1. Then Complexity beats them 3-1. Puts them in the losers.
Upper bracket?
Yeah, it's in the upper bracket.
I'm not seeing this.
Yeah, as I remember,
What dates?
I made notes. I remember I made notes about this.
What was the dates?
August 22nd or 21st, 22nd series open number 12. This should be the third link in the chat.
I guess I don't have that one open.
Upper bracket 12. I don't see that.
No, upper bracket 25.
25.
You can find them in the first round there. In the
Rebellion. Yeah, right there.
yeah, they're there.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't open
So when you go, they get beat by Complexity 3-1. Oh, I forgot to mention that, man. I forgot all about this. So that was in, I believe, the third round.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about this one. This
Okay.
one Optic actually did good in.
I missed last week. I was out of town, so I didn't get to watch any of it.
Not only did that, I mean, like, Complexity is obviously starting to look a little better. They didn't obviously beat Sentinels today, but, like, they took down Rebellion, which in my mind is, like, better than beating the Sentinels. And then Cloud9 beat Rebellion 3-2. 3-2, like, that's huge. So, yeah, Cloud9 definitely playing a lot better this week. But it is on online open, so we'll see how that translates to LAN, you know?
And this was the only one that Optic did to completion, and they made it to grand finals through the winner's side. But then SSG did their thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, yeah, I didn't get to watch all these games. I'm not a big, like, fan of watching the Cloud9 games. You know, I don't know. Like,
fuck Cloud9.
I know it's not really like fuck
I
Cloud9.
don't like the org.
Yeah, I don't. It's not that even. I don't like the org.
Nothing to do with the
I
players.
just don't.
like
I don't know, man. Like, I only feel like watching the big matches. Like, you know, in my opinion, and I'll skim through them and kind of watch one or two. But obviously, they're playing a lot better. We know that based off the results.
I like Cloud9 more with Manny on it. So.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good thing that Manny's found another team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that he's getting a chance back with the org again because he was kind of just dropped. I can't believe what freaking Pierre was doing to him. Like, let's pick him up, let's drop him, let's pick him up, let's drop him.
But yeah,
like, you've been dude forever.
I do want to know for that second week, Sentinels were doing pretty good against Space Station. Taking them to it's 250 to 237 interference strongholds. The Slayers 50-38. You know, they could have been better. Obviously, they did pretty good in oddball recharge. 291 to 204 was the score. Space Station, honestly though, they 3-0'd them. But oh damn, Halo Data Hive's kind of shit in the bed here. Come on, man. Don't do this to me now. I want to see the series. I want to take a look at that complexity freaking Shopify
Rebellion.
Yeah, I want to see because they got
Cloud9 Shopify.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that too. So yeah, okay. So like first game, Shopify wins. Recharge oddball. Looks like it was 2 rounds to 0 rounds. They complexity fight back in game 2, 50-38 to win that. Then they, oh my god, whoops Shopify's ass on Stronghold's interference 250 to 80, and then edge them out slightly by 1 flag cap on Forbidden 3-2. Holy shit, that was a very close series. Come on, Data Hive, don't do this. And then let me see if I can find that Cloud9 one. I mean, if Cloud9 could play, like, the main reason I really just don't watch them is because, like, they really, if they're playing like an Optic or they're playing like a Space Station, I'll probably watch a game or two. But if they're playing like another team, like let's just say like Native Gaming, I'm just not that interested because like they have a really rough time breaking the top 6, and that's where I really start to get interested in these games. Is like when when teams can hit top 6. That's where I'm like, okay, now you got my attention here. Like, you know, it's kind of my thought process on it. And they've just never really excited me as like a org or as like this particular roster. Like when they were back when it was like the old SSG roster, that's when I was like, okay, I'll watch a Cloud9 game because this team's fucking balling. You know what I'm saying? But this,
yeah, biggest fumble by Cloud9.
Yeah, obviously the crypto crash hurt their pocketbook, but like,
I just wish they had a merch booth and actually cared about Halo,
right?
Which I don't feel like they do. I don't know if they just don't have the money or what's the deal.
Well, I mean, yeah, what I remember was that they dropped the team to cut cost.
Yeah, that's what it was. They cut. Yeah, they couldn't pay them.
I just find it very like surprising. Like I've gone to Worlds twice now, and it's like there's never been a Cloud9 booth. Like year 1, there wasn't a United booth, or there's like just when partner teams don't have a booth.
Yeah,
for,
there
like,
was a
fans,
C9
like,
booth
what are
at
you
an
doing
event
here?
that I went to. Which one was that, C4?
The C9 booth was Fort Worth.
Fort Worth?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
They didn't have nothing. Like they had,
it was nothing.
They had their jerseys. I'm not gonna buy your
jersey.
Like the jerseys look, they lack creativity, man. Like I like the colors.
It was just their basic org stuff.
Yeah,
it wasn't like anything pertaining to Halo.
Yeah, like I don't mind. Like I'm not even buying Optics jerseys because like unless it's like something like a collab, like the City collab, like they did the Super or the Seattle Sonics or like the Charlotte Hornets jersey. The Champion, maybe. I'm just not a fan of their overall like graphic design that they've got on these jerseys. And like I'm sorry, you got to entice me a little bit. Like at least Space Station, and I'm gonna say this. Space Station's got the best merch, but I don't like their jerseys that they have now. The jerseys they got right now, I do not like them, and I will admit that too.
I really do like what Sentinels does. I know they get a lot of hate for not even using their freaking Twitter about anything, but they do put on a great merch booth. They give props. They always have some sort of Halo Sentinels collab where they actually incorporate into their design. And stuff like that is like, okay, you're making a Halo fan like your org, and that's awesome.
I'm more of a fan of Sentinels than C9 for sure because of that.
Yeah, and like Optic, at least they will collab with the city that they're in. It's not normally like Halo related, maybe like one item, but like they had a bunch of Optic Seattle stickers, and I love that because I'm from here, and it's at least relating to the event. But then other orgs just don't do anything.
Like
I will say, like, Optic is one of the orgs who they're very meticulous in what they release. Like lots of their good, cool stuff has nothing to do with like what game they're in, but what they
I like their hoodies. Some of their hoodies.
Yeah, their hoodies. Like they make their own great merch. Like some of their hoodies, their jackets. Like if you watch the COD League, I know we're steering a little way. Like their warm-up jackets that they were selling during COD Worlds, COD Champs, was just super cool looking. Like,
if it's cool looking, I'll buy it. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like Optic just released because Optic went to the Esports World Cup in Saudi Arabia this year.
Yeah.
They just released an orange jersey.
Yeah, that was a spicy take.
Yeah, like going back to the C9 at Fort Worth, like their merch booth is just like abysmal. Like I mean, yeah, it's got the the C9 branding on the tent. It's got they got their jersey. They had some like posters, like blank posters that you could like draw your own shit or whatever if you wanted. There's a couple of good artists. I picked up a couple that had left them there, and they had little boppers, They had little boppers you could blow up and like make sounds and shit, and like boop boop boop, you know, like. But like
everyone can learn something from SSG.
Yeah, like dude, I've got
point.
like most of my merch that I've bought Halo wise is literally SSG merch.
Yeah,
like most of it.
Same.
Like I've got a
I just
couple phase
bought
things.
the HCS stuff.
Yeah,
because I love their HCS Seattle collab. That's
I've got
I
a
tried
lot.
to
I've
get
got that
everyone's
too.
jerseys.
I got a sweatshirt and I got a T-shirt of that, and then
The only team I don't have a Cloud9 jersey. I don't have Optic.
I
No, I do have Optic.
no
I got.
interest in the C9.
If you don't,
No interest
I don't
in the
have.
C9 jersey.
I don't have their team Optic jersey. I got their collab city jerseys that they made, like the Charlotte Hornets and the Seattle Sonics. I've got those. Those are dope. That's the kind of shit like I'll buy. But anyways, off topic.
They just have the Optic white with the patch for 2022.
If it like Optics put out some good shit. Like I like their Halo related stuff. But like for instance, like their team jerseys that they have are just like, I don't know, man. It's like there's some about the graphic design that just it's not that appealing to me for some reason. But you know, we could have a merch podcast one day and talk all about that. Moving on. Yeah, like I said, the SSG wins that event, resetting the bracket. To finish that one up, they reset it against Pure. 3-0'd Pure, basically 6-0'd them.
6-0'd them.
Yeah, 6-0'd them. Completely dominated that. I'm not sure what the scores are on that, but I'm sure there was a couple of close games in there. Maybe. And then moving on to open number 3, which was August 21st to 22nd, series number 12. Yeah, my notes, I got Sin still looking better, taking down SSG 3-2 and Pure 3-2. Complexity also beat Pure 3-1, which we talked about. C9 took Pure down as well. No, sorry, I mentioned Complexity took down Rebellion, but they also took down Pure 3-1. C9 took down Pure 3-2, and SSG win again, resetting the bracket, but this time against Optic. So, what are your guys' thoughts on this past weekend? Or that was on Thursday, sorry. Yeah, it was Wednesday.
That was Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting having Halo during the week, that's for sure.
I kind of like it somewhat.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Halo this week between the week 3 that they had to reschedule, and then the FFA, and then of course qualifier this weekend. But that something has to be done for one of the teams to beat SSG.
Mm-hmm.
They have been looking extremely dominant online and on land. That legend pickup is
OP, needs nerf.
Yeah, needs to be GA. Just send them back to France, so that maybe one of the other teams can do something. But I don't think that's actually going to happen. But yeah, that was a great pickup for them. It's the speed that they needed for Bound to kind of be able to open up a little bit more, right?
What do you think really, like, what is it that Optic is lacking against teams like Space Station?
I mean,
consistency.
Well, yeah, sure.
I think you keep going on these runs and they look so good, but then I don't know. I think it's just a headspace. I know they can do it, but they got to get there on the winner side, and they can't let fucking SSG like Stellar hit peak form. Like,
bro,
he has the highest power level of all Halo players.
That motherfucker, bro, was on another level on Thursday, dude. He was looking like the Stellar from last year at the Salt Lake Invitational, just absolutely blowing away people with the sniper. I mean, he was snapping on everybody. It
like sucks because like Optic, I feel like they have to make it on the winner's side, but you let SSG get on a loser's run, they don't look beatable. Like when their backs are against the wall, they just play better, and it's tough. And I feel like Optic normally plays better coming from the winner's side, but then when they didn't play for fucking 4 hours and then they have SSG come in red hot after eliminating everyone.
Yeah.
It's like, what can you do? Like,
right? I mean,
I don't know. You gotta be like in the backstage from winners, just freaking scrimming or something.
Oh, of course. But again, like if you look at like if you look at the results from Twitch and stuff too, like if you were watching Twitch during while SSG was making their run, none of the only Optic player that was still playing Halo was Lucid. He was the only one who kept staying warm, just playing or matchmaking, that kind of stuff. I think Formal was playing that new Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Right,
playing that
so-
damn game.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it, but
Yeah.
right, like it's just one of those
based on
things.
what I see, it looks like a very generic game.
It's the commitment, I think, of the full roster, right? You look at SSG, like everybody jokes that even though Legend is very good, he is grinding day in, day out.
I grind. He probably plays more than anybody in the world right now. Like literally.
Like Eco, he's grinding. Like that entire team just grinds all the time, right?
Mentioning
Like,
Eco, we got to play with
right.
him like 2 games like in Slayer
Yeah, played with them and then played against them.
and lost
Yeah,
both
like-
games.
Stellar doesn't really grind. Stellar's freaking just at the gym getting fucking ripped, but
Yeah,
He doesn't
again,
need
but
to.
I don't think he I think he grinds behind closed doors. Right? There's no way you are that consistent and that good at Halo
It's
Infinite
just quality,
weird,
quality practice.
without consistent grinding and
You look at the ranked leaderboard, and Stellar is never really near the top, which is interesting. Like we've seen Renegade at the top, we've seen Lucid at the top, I've seen Formal at the top,
in
I've seen
Legend.
Legend, but I've never seen freaking Stellar in the top 10 on the freaking.
No, but I
thing.
think
And
that's
feel like
because
the
he's
people that grind are normally up there.
well, again, those people who are up there are grinding matchmaking. That doesn't mean there isn't pro eights going on. There's not money eights or duos
That's
or
still
stuff
grinding.
going
Yeah,
on.
that's
Like,
still grinding.
Yeah, I think the
That is
difference
grinding,
is his
like-
practice is probably just a higher quality.
Yeah.
yes, exactly,
He's
and that makes a
taking more from
big
his
difference,
practice.
right?
Yeah, like you gotta really like in these practices. Like I mean, we've talked about this as a team. Like you can't like just hop on the game and just kind of run through the motions, like and play like you are in matchmaking. Like we have a rough time, a lot of the times in matchmaking. But like you got to get on, and you got to have like a focus, like, and you got to really like actively think about that focus, like mid game. Like okay, this is what I'm supposed to be working on. Let's actively think about it, and like keep trying to improve on that aspect of the game. And then, but the same time, like that's one day's focus. You got to somehow retain that practice, carrying it over into the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day until it's like, okay, this is like a secondary nature type thing for me. Like I don't have to think about it anymore. And these pros are literally grinding it out, and like as long as they got to focus on practice, we're gonna see the result of it. And I think Stellar and Legend are probably the two most like players right there that I don't know how much Stellar grinds. I would assume it's probably a lot because that dude is absolutely on fire. Lucid is the same way. Formal is always pretty consistent. Like even though he's always playing other games, it seems like playing Valorant or whatever. But
I used to always watch Trippy streams, like
I like
when they
Trippy
were
streams.
doing good, and I feel like I haven't really seen him streaming Halo.
I'm kind of thinking the same way. I don't watch Twitch a lot, but like the days that I've gotten on, and like when I see, I've got notifications on for Formal on Twitter, so like I see whenever they're scrimming. Like he always posts when they're scrimming, so like I know exactly.
Yeah.
And I always see him in Lucid, especially on tournament days as well. But I always look at my follower list, and not that I really paid attention, but I haven't seen Trippy because normally he would be at the top of my list because of the number of viewers. So like I don't know if I'm just not looking hard enough or he's just not streaming.
I don't think he's streaming. 'cause I haven't seen
Last
him
time he
all the
streamed was 11 days ago.
11 days ago. So there you go.
11 days ago for Trippy.
Yeah, I know he's up there on the leaderboard still, so he must be grinding, but it's, I just feel like I don't see him as much as I did, like, when they were
Yeah.
in Worlds.
And then even Dead Zone, right? Like I haven't seen Dead Zone. Dead Zone hasn't streamed or anything for 2 months.
Dude, he used to stream back in the day, like right before Infinite came out. Like he was grinding on the stream in H5, like just playing. All he did was play ranked. They did those like Microsoft Sunday tournaments with LVT casting, and like he was always streaming. Him and Lucid were like the two people I was watching back in the late H5 days. And yeah, he kind of just like, dude, ever since Infinite came out, he has not streamed much at all. Like I couldn't even. I've probably maybe seen him once stream, and I'm not even sure when that was. It might have been right after they won Arlington, maybe. If I did, I can't remember.
But I mean, I think if they can play how they did on their losers run at Atlanta, Optic can beat SSG. It's possible. Like, I know it seems unlikely right now, but
I think they're gonna have to get faster, man.
I don't know.
I think like they got the slow gameplay obviously down. That's like their main like kind of meta with that team. But I think they need to play. They need to learn how to like pace themselves a little bit better, like with the fast and the slow. Like, you know, be able to speed up and take map space quicker, and really kind of block SSG from being able to get a quick push. Because we know one thing about SSG, that like they fucking fly on the map, man. They're quick. You know, Bound and Stellar, or I'd say Bound and Legend, they're not gonna like just sit back and like hold a fucking angle. You know, that's more like Eco's kind of real, but like. I don't know how. I mean, do y'all think the Optic needs to speed it up, or you think they got the speed that they need?
I think we got to see how this meta change is going to affect things as well. A lot of people think the Bandit being slowed down is going to benefit Optic a ton.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Hmm?
I don't think it is. At
Well,
this point,
it might. I mean, if we go back to the BR days, that was a slower meta than the previous Bandit meta that we just had with the fast paced shot. This one's, I mean, it's a little slower, but is it really changed? Like, do you think you think about the games we played today in the TSC Halo Funtime Cup? Those are some pretty fast paced like plays that were happening. Even though we're not on that level, but like, I don't know. Is it really? You think the meta slowed at all?
I think it has slowed a little bit, and also, I mean, it's a little hard to tell because guns like the Commando and the BR are now more viable.
Mm-hmm. Thank God.
And maybe that could speed it up because now people aren't reloading as much. But I don't know.
Shout out to the BR and Commando. I love those things now.
I think this LAN's gonna show a lot. There's going to be some differences. I think some teams there is going to be a shakeup because of this meta change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that means it's going to slow down a Shopify or if it's going to speed up Sentinels or like improve. But I think, you know, what happens I think like the gap between like Optic and SSG isn't as big as we think, and something like this could affect it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see. I do want to mention that, you know, it looks like Sentinels and C9 both take a game off of Optic, even though they got shut out. Complexity as well. Not really many other teams could say that, besides SSG, of course, who reset the bracket 3-1 against Optic and then beat them in the second reset 3-2. Optic put up a little bit more of a fight. I think that game 5, I'm not sure. Let's see if I can find that game 5 between them, because
SSG walked away with it pretty good.
Yeah, it was
a blowout.
Was it
Yeah,
the Slayer?
Yeah, it was like 50-36 or something like that.
Sheesh. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
Through, I knew Optic was losing it.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously got to change. They got to change something in these matches, because I mean, SSG are looking really. I mean, they've literally went on a 3-peat in these opens. And
was it 3?
Yeah, they won all 3.
On the opens.
And the opens, and if you consider Atlanta, they're on a, you know, even though Atlanta's more of a major thing than these onlines, that's a 4-peat. You know, are they going to make it 5 wins in a row?
I mean, I'm not going to really give them too much credit on the online opens. Yeah, they matter, but Optic dropped out of one, and I know they lost 2. They were in the lower bracket, but I would have liked to have seen that played through. And then the other one, Optic, was still in second that they played. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Though mentioning that game 5, it was Aquarius. I remember that. PlayStation only edged them out by 5 kills in that, so it wasn't like a total blowout.
Well,
they probably came back. I think Optic was winning at one point, if I do believe.
I remember the tide just got freaking turned, and
oh yeah,
10 on unanswered kills.
They got that's their map, man. They're all about speed, man, speed and momentum. But yeah, moving on. the last but not least, the Salt Lake qualifier. I got a few notes here. It looks like Native, they struggled a bit, particularly today, getting shut down by C9 3-2 and losers. Also, C9 couldn't take out complexity. And Sin only drop 2 maps all tourney, and then Collect's team send Native to losers as well. But yeah, I mean, today's qualifier, I didn't really watch much of it because I was just tired and sleepy.
And none of the top teams are in it really. Besides,
I'm gonna watch the finals back tomorrow at work while I'm chilling. Sentinel shut out Complexity 3-1. Not really much to mention. If you go back to the losers bracket, Cloud9 3-0 Collects team. F1 was looking pretty good though. F1, which was the Envor, Piggy, Carmia, or Descendant, and Etso, they're looking pretty good. They took down Ascending Baseline 3-1. They took down Lethal Fox 3-1. They took 2 games off of Collect's team before they got put out of the tournament, so they were looking decent. I expect them to be doing pretty good at Salt Lake. Eclipse Solar also playing decently. One of the smaller orgs here we don't really get to hear about much. Very cool org, by the way. I think they're sponsoring 2 teams for this event. I think they're also doing like an Airbnb like type thing where you could buy in. Like, I'll be honest, if I wasn't already hooking up with Quick Fuse and Frag at this event, I probably would have taken that deal because they got like a hot tub, they got a land set up, they got a big ass house. Like, it's fucking sick. Like, I would literally, and it's like $300 like a person or some shit, maybe less actually. Shout out to that org. They're pretty sick. But yeah, anybody got anything to mention about today's tournament?
I didn't watch any of it.
I didn't either.
I didn't get to see much of it other than the finals.
Yeah, I was. We were playing in the tournament.
Yeah, I tuned in a little bit here and there, but I wasn't watching it as intensely as some of the other weeks. So.
Yeah,
I've been busy moving.
Maybe we could just talk about the teams that qualified.
Yeah, so we know Native made it. They made a post. We know Complexity, the top 2 from this tournament, which was Complexity and Sin, apparently made it. And I don't know for sure. Cloud9 was competing. I would assume they were already in pools, but maybe they're the other team. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure at all.
And not already in pools?
I was trying to find, like, if we pull up Twitter. Let me pull up Twitter on the big screen here. Oops. There we go. X.com. Such a lame name. Let's see here. Let's pull them up here for the viewers that are watching. Appreciate anybody that is watching. Yeah, so like right here we got a post. HCS reposted it. Qualified for Native. Yep. Complexity, secure pool play. There's another retweet there. Sentinels obviously got pool play. Who was in pool play? Let me see if I can find that fucking post because I know there was a post at some point.
For pool play already, I believe it was FaZe, Pure, Shopify, Optic, SSG, Into the Breach.
Because they made a post a few days ago with like the points before the qualifier took place. It was the 22nd. And Cloud9 was in the top 8 there. So I was just like kind of wondering, like, did they really need to play in this qualifier, or were they wanting extra points?
Well, they might have needed more points because they made a roster change.
Let me see if I can find it. So if we look, I got the graphic here. Salt Lake City major pool play seeds. So for the seeding, we had Space Station, Optic, obviously, Rebellion, Pure FaZe for the top 5. Then you had Sentinels, Complexity, Cloud9, and then you had Native Gaming. And then in the Europe, you had Into the Breach, who was the top, along with Quadrant and Sin Baseline. So it looks like to me like yeah, those are the qualifying. Like so, nobody really outside of those teams made it for pools. It was yeah, pretty sure it's gonna be the same teams because Native made it and they literally got knocked out in like I don't know the later rounds and losers. Cloud9.
Yeah, the only
same.
teams that were qualified were I just found it here. SSG, Optic, Shopify, Pure, Phase, and Into the Breach.
Okay. Well, it's like the
everyone else had to qualify off points.
The graphic I got pulled up, it shows like it's got two sections. You got like a yellow section, which is the top 5 who are obviously already in pools, along with
They're
Into the
locked.
Breach. Yeah, they're
And
locked.
the others are contenders.
Yeah, and then the other one, it says pool play seeds. So like Sentinels, Complexity, Cloud9, and Native Gaming were the other seeds like in North America, along with Quadrant and Ascending Baseline in Europe. So like, yeah, I mean it was obviously on points, and like they probably played today. Like they already probably qualified point wise, but they played today and this weekend because like they didn't want like F1s or like Collects team or like another team to kind of like take their spot, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, and like Native could like pass them up, and they could
pass them up on the seed. Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense. Because like you have F1, you have Collects team, and then
I don't think Sentinels need to play in this.
No, they didn't. They didn't really need to. You had Lethal Fox, SWAT Latam, teams like that. That's the teams that they don't want to like pass them up on the points leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're trying to get points for Worlds as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like that's pretty much like we got all the opens covered. We talked about FFA, talked about the qualifier. I believe next week we're gonna do predictions.
For SLC, and then it's travel.
Yeah, it's travel, and
then it's SLC.
Yeah, I'm gonna make another video for the vlog. Get that going.
Well, that kind of content.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty great.
Appreciate you guys. Coming to watch the series. We obviously didn't stream it tonight. I forgot to, but we got it recorded. It's gonna go up on YouTube. Just notable mentions. We may do a tournament here in the future. Very soon, probably like after Worlds. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you follow the socials. Fortunately, on YouTube, I can't post links in the description. So anything we talk about, any of these brackets, YouTube won't allow it because we're just not big enough yet. So make sure you hit that sub button. Help us out with some follows and stuff.
It really doesn't let you.
Yeah, it won't let me post links because I remember shouting out.
In the top comment.
Yeah, I could do that. That's a lot of links, but yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I'll post the Twitter in the comments. Pin it. Make sure you go follow us on Twitter for any updates, like on team gameplay. We post our updates like for Halo Rec League. We're gonna be hosting a tournament soon. Who knows what we're gonna do in the future? Only time will tell. Right now it's just a podcast.
Anyone is following us on that, I think we gotta win and get a little help to make playoffs in Rec League.
Yeah, yeah, and we got a lot of improvement that we gotta. We got a lot of stuff.
Better.
Yeah, a lot better. We're getting trashed by teams that would get trashed on by other teams, and so like that puts us on the total poll kind of low,
Yeah, we're getting better though. We've won 2 Series 3-0 in HRL and Champs Masters. So
yeah, I mean that's not bad though. I mean 3-0s, man.
We're getting there.
At least we 3-0'd some teams.
And considering like this is our first time in the champs bracket, right? We're not
playing the
not to mention we haven't practiced a lot in the past 2 months, so there you go.
Yeah, we've been busy. We got people moving around. I'm in a freaking sling right now. It inhibits me a little bit.
I took a break for like 2 weeks. Didn't want to play any Halo, and now I'm back and making semis.
I'm really feeling the passion and the grind right now, though. I'm on this hero rank grind, and I'm getting close. And I don't know, it's just making me play more.
Yep. So appreciate everybody stopping by the stream. We're gonna put this up on YouTube and make a post about Twitter. Please like and retweet that if you see it. And we'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy.
Ooh.